Yo, what is going on YouTube? How you guys doing today? It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, not really, because it's snowing here occasionally and it's freezing cold. It was just like actually really warm for a few days, but that's all right. We're all supposed to be stuck inside in quarantine anyway. So anyway, hope you're all doing well. Today, I wanted to ask you guys a question. I want to talk with you guys and I want to hear from you on what your dream IT career would be. What is it that you are just dreaming every single day about that you want to do in your professional career? And I can tell you that for me personally, like, this isn't my dream. This isn't exactly what I had set out to do or set out to be. I'm glad that I'm able to do this, but this is not my dream career. In reality, I've talked about this many times before. I think this has helped me develop really what my dream career would be. Because over time, I think you guys are going to find that things change. What you can dream of can change. Your dream can develop like into something further, into different things. And that's definitely what happened with me. And I've talked about this before where I said I want to be in security training. I would really love to be in some type of position where I handle the security training for enterprise companies. Like, that would be a lot of fun for me. That is something that I enjoy. I love helping people. I love teaching people. And I'm extremely interested in security. So for me, that all just kind of goes hand in hand. Like, that's my dream. Like, that's what I want to do. That would be so amazing to me. That would be so much fun. So that's what my dream IT career really looks like. And I want to know from you guys, what is your dream? Like, what do you want to do in IT? So let's talk about that. What's going on, everybody in the chat? How are y'all doing today? Hang on. I have really pretty blue eyes. Ooh, I love that. Thank you. Appreciate that. My 1-year-old, my now 1-year-old, it was just his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to my 1-year-old. His name is Micah. He's awesome. He's the best baby I could have ever asked for in my entire life. This baby is so chill, so relaxed, but he has the most amazing blue eyes I've ever seen. Love that little kid. I love my other kids too. They have pretty eyes too. But, kind of partial to the baby, right? Isn't that how that works? Anyway, Patricia, you would love to be a security consultant yourself. Well, Patricia, what are you doing to line up that dream of yours? What are you currently actively doing to become a security consultant? See, as much as I want to hear from you guys, I want to hear your answers and hear what you're looking to do. I want to know what it is that you're doing to help achieve these dreams. And if I can give you any suggestions at all to help along the way, or anybody in this chat, quite honestly, there are plenty of people in this chat. Chris Howitt, I got to give you a shout out. No Degree IT, shout out to you. Shout out to Deborah Neighbors. Like, I see you guys all the time in the chat. I appreciate you guys coming, joining the chat, even providing feedback and stuff on your own. Like, that's what this is all about. It's a community. It's a community of people who come together and help people. It's not just me running the show. It's you guys out there too who have gone through some of these same things and can share your advice as well. Libertad. I get what you're trying to do there with your name, but yeah. What is it about security that appeals to you? I think what appeals to me the most, quite honestly, about security is the social engineering aspect. So more so like the manipulation that happens with that. And it goes not only to manipulating individuals, right? Because that's one of the biggest parts of social engineering, but it's also, what comes after that. Manipulating computer systems, manipulating networks. And other devices. That is really intriguing to me on the tech side. So I have like the interpersonal skills and customer service skills and enjoy working with people directly, and I can see how people can be manipulated. And I want to help alleviate that as part of that could be a problem, right? But I also want to understand like the inner workings of the technology side of things and how devices are manipulated. So I think for me, it's just there's a huge fascination in both of those aspects for me personally. So that's why I lean that way personally. Um, it when I hear about like different hacks and things that happened, how they started from a phishing email all the way to compromising an entire network. It's really just intriguing to how people think about these things and how they actually achieve those things. So how do they actually achieve that access of compromising an entire network? Like, what steps did they take and how did they do that? Like, it's interesting. It's interesting. Anyway, I'm sitting here babbling on, and I'm missing out on the chat. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Irma Sierra, you're a nurse with a bachelor's degree. Would love to change careers, but you're 45 and scared to be too old to compete. You are not too old to compete. You are never too old to work in IT. I tell this story all the time, and there's probably people in this chat right now who are like, Zach, please don't tell this story again. But I'm sorry. Somebody knew. One of like the very first IT jobs that I worked for, I was replacing somebody, and the somebody was a 60, like maybe 65-year-old guy who had just started working in IT when he turned 60. He retired from working in ComEd. He had never worked in technology. He was fascinated by it and interested in it, and he really taught himself kind of along the years, he kind of said, but he also was just really interested in helping people, and he was really good at troubleshooting things, working with ComEd power lines and power and all that stuff. I'm sure he was probably pretty good at troubleshooting different things, whatever. Point is, he was 60 years old, and he worked a job where he serviced an entire school district. He was like the head person in charge, essentially, in servicing all the devices and all the end users. He did a great job of it. Really smart guy, but here's a 60-year-old dude at the time who's like, man, I'm retired from ComEd. I don't need to be working. I mean, he's probably making a crap ton of money just being retired. He's bored. He wanted something to do. He's like, I want to go work IT. That's what he did at 60. See, and then he officially retired at like 65 or whatever it was. But he was a really smart guy, and yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just like a story that I could tell you guys that I personally got to experience and witness, that you are never too old to start in this field. I saw somebody say in the chat that they ordered one of the Run CMD hoodies. I appreciate that. I actually just ordered a Run CMD hoodie of my own. So you guys will be seeing that in some videos, but I think it's like another maybe week or so before I get that hoodie, but I'm super stoked about that. I think I got, let's see. No. I usually keep some t-shirts out here so that I can switch them when I'm recording videos, but I don't have any out here right now. Anyway, Germ HD, network engineer is the goal. What are you doing to achieve that goal? And let me go back and see something here. Trying to find somebody. Let's see. All right, so Patricia said that they currently got their Security Plus and their project management certification, now working on learning Linux scripting and the cloud. So Patrice, my bad. Patrice had said earlier in the chat that they want to be a security consultant, I believe it was. So you're definitely well on your way. I mean, you're definitely on that right track for sure. No degree IT, you love yours, but it needed fixed already. What happened to it? Bro, what's up? What happened to the hoodie? I don't want to hear that it needed to be fixed already. I hope you contacted Teespring. Yell at those guys. Deborah Neighbors says they're 53 and have been doing basic IT for 21 years. You're just now ramping it up. Your company is paying for you to get your CCNA and move on into networking full time. That's awesome, Deborah. That's awesome. You are an IT veteran. Alan, do I know any OPSEC? I don't know any OPSEC. The Pocky? The Pocky? Are you talking to me like a kid or what? Because I got all these kids. A Pocky? That's what my 2-year-old, my Pocky daddy, all the time. He's talking about his pocket. What happened to the pocket though? Because that's frustrating. Did it rip? Pocket stitching came loose. No worries. Still love it. Well, that's bogus. I would contact Teespring. Be like, what the F? Oh, you didn't have to retract your message, bro. I was just giving you a hard time. Soupy Gnome, you think network security analyst defense side is your goal. What are you doing to achieve that goal? How about degree with no experience? How about a degree with no experience? What about it? Omega 7, working on getting the AWS Associate certification and or Google Cloud Platform 1. Plus you just got your Tableau certificate on your way. Which one's that? Slight Edge, I have earned an associate's degree in cybersecurity and looking to work in IT. However, you're a convicted felon 10 years ago, now you're 30. Do you have a future to work in cybersecurity? Well, there are some companies that honestly, they won't hire you because of that. Like, that's just the flat out truth. But on the other hand, there are other companies that will hire you still. So it's really just trying to find that kind of that lucky chance almost, because it's going to be probably a lot harder for you, honestly. It's still doable, but I mean, you're really going to have to spend a lot of time researching the companies that you're applying for to see if it's going to be something that just immediately, disqualifies you from the job. I don't want to say it's not possible because I know it's possible. I know of people who've done it. I just know that they went through a lot to get there. So there's that. Steven, you're currently enrolled to get your associates in information security. You want to get your Security Plus cert, 4 years in AML, want to switch to cybersecurity. I can't even talk today, I'm sorry. But you are on the right track, it sounds like. So you want to get your Security Plus, and you're going for an information security degree. So you'll be set. You'll be good. Marcus Rice, currently a data center tech, but you want to become a Linux sysadmin. Then after 5 years of LSA, then you'll become white hacker for the FBI or NSA. Well, that's a big trek. That's a big trek ahead of you. But I think you can do it. I mean, definitely becoming a Linux sysadmin will help you. So what are you doing to achieve that part of it? Mohit, how to get into cybersecurity specialist with no experience but completed your MS? Well, you need to get experience. That's going to be one of the biggest factors, quite honestly. So even if that's just getting an experience in any type of entry-level role, get experience. Just get experience working in IT, period. It doesn't matter the role. Just get that experience under your belt. I mean, you could definitely try to get some certifications and stuff under your belt, compete in some like capture the flags, anything that can help show that you have some type of verifiable experience or knowledge of, some of the things that are done on a day-to-day basis or used on a day-to-day basis. Those are, I think, great ways that can help you. What do I think is the biggest mistake a person can make in their IT career? I think the biggest mistake that anybody can make in their IT career, and it's something that I've seen before, is that they just stop caring, like stop learning. I hate to say stop caring because I think a lot of people stop caring, but they continue to learn because they have to survive. But there's many people I've seen who, they burn out or they work the same type of position for years. I'm talking like 15, 20 plus years. They've worked the same type of position because they have no desire to further themselves and to further their career and to learn more. One of the weird things about IT is like there's many opportunities for you to just scrape by, right? Like I think there's endless opportunities for you to stay indefinitely in a help desk position. There's not, like, initially there's a learning curve, right? Initially there's a lot to learn. But over time, like if you want to stay in help desk, it's not so much about keeping up to date with everything as much as you need to. It's scraping by. It's like literally learning the few things here and there that you need to get by, and you're not doing any of this learning to advance yourself, to get somewhere further. Again, I've seen this with many people, and It's sad, it sucks for them, but I mean, maybe it doesn't suck for them. Maybe that's what they want to do, But I look at it like, man, I could never do that. I could never work help desk the rest of my life. Even though it's enjoyable, like I enjoyed it, and I would go back to it if, like if I just needed something to do, right? Like if I was bored or whatever, like, yeah, I could go back and do that and just have fun with it, right? But like, that's not my dream. That's not where I want to be. So I tried to educate myself to further my career, to further my chances of achieving success. So that's the biggest mistake anybody can make in their IT career is just, not learning, continuously learning. I don't know if that's the right word for it, or words. But yeah, biggest mistake in your IT career. All right, I'm probably missing stuff on the chat. I'm sorry. Chris818, question, what college classes should I take for becoming an IT? You want to learn software and hardware. You think computer science or computer engineering? I think you really need to take the time and sit down and decide what it is that you want to do with your career, and really take a look at those classes that are being offered and try to drill down into the different technologies that you'd learn within each of those different degree paths, and find out which one interests you the most. I can't tell you which one to take. Like, you actually have to do kind of your due diligence and look into what it is that they're teaching. So if they're going to teach you software development, so learning programming, right? And that's usually part of like some type of computer science degree. Look and see which programming languages you're going to learn. Go out on YouTube and look up like Java for beginners, right? And then see if you can follow along with that. See if that's something that you're interested in. If it's more so computer engineering, look at, there's so much that you could look at that with, but just look at maybe infrastructure side, or if it's truly like engineering, you're talking, I mean, engineering it can be such a broad term, so I don't even want to get into that right now. That could just be like an endless conversation on engineering. The point of this is look deeply into what it is that they're offering, write down the different things they're teaching, and then look those up. That's what I got for you. If you think you know enough, you fail. Yeah, nobody knows everything. Nobody knows everything. Jorge Perez, you would like to work remotely from home because you have a hard time finding an environment where people can respect each other. I mean, that's just probably unfortunate circumstances that you may have dealt with where people don't respect each other fully, but I think you're probably always going to run into that in pretty much any organization that is for profit. Even probably non-for-profit, I would imagine, too. But yeah, definitely, like, that's a whole nother conversation, too. Wolfie does gaming. Where can I find some great online training for cybersecurity? All over the YouTube. Hackersploit, the Cyber Mentor. You can sign up for any one of the training platforms out there. IT Pro TV, CBT Nuggets, Linux Academy, Cybrary. They all provide really great content. You just have to find which it is that you like the most. Mike, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Welcome to the help desk, Mike. That's awesome, bro. I appreciate that very, very much. Is IT good for entrepreneurship? It depends on what you want to do. I mean, there's many different avenues of entrepreneurship, and there's many different avenues of IT. So it's really drilling down what it is you want to do. I think, let me scroll up here. Y'all just got hired in a company that provides security as a service, web, UEM, email, pen testing, DFIR, SOC, etc. But you don't know where to start since you worked only for 10 days. Now I'm at home. Don't know what to do. Well, what were you learning while you were there? What did you start off learning? Just learn more about those different things. That's like the only advice I could really give as far as that goes. But You could ask different people who work there what you should be doing. Rajat, what after CEH for a penetration test journey? OSCP, CISSP, SSSPs, you know. Seth, how are you doing? I recognize your name from many times seeing you leave comments and things. So how are you doing, sir? Desktop support or help desk, assuming someone will hire me once you get your associate's degree. You haven't been able to get a single interview from anywhere you have applied to. I mean, if you haven't been able to get a single interview for somewhere you applied to, I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's probably something wrong with your resume. Like, anybody who can craft a good resume or get one crafted can almost be rest assured they should land an interview or two, like, out of the many that they will apply for. Unless you just completely lack any type of skills at all for that position. But you should be really tailoring your resume to match the skills that are required for that position, if that makes sense. Or trying to adapt your resume to match as many of the skills as you can, and then be able to explain them. So yeah, there's that. There's that. Brian Martin, what kind of job can you get that mostly involves hardware? There's a lot of technician positions that involve hardware. So companies like, Philips, IBM, Lenovo, Dell, Gateway, Packard Bell. No, I'm just kidding. Those types of companies have usually like technician positions. They're all kind of remote, and they go off to different companies that have like these big contracts with companies like Lenovo, for instance. So you could be like a repair technician for Lenovo, and you go off to different sites that pay for like next day service or on-site service or whatever, and you might go there and swap out a motherboard or something because a motherboard went bad. You might go there and swap out a screen or something. There's a lot of enterprise environments that pay for that type of service, but there's also just as many enterprise environments that's part of your job, which sucks because replacing a motherboard on a laptop, if you've never done that before, like that is the most tedious, stupid task ever, and I hate it. I never want to take apart a laptop ever again. If that tells you anything, it's just a pain. So I would much hope that the enterprise environment that I work for pays for like on-site service for that type of stuff. But yeah, like I said, not everybody does that. But that's the type of job that deals with hardware. That's like the best example that I could give you because I've dealt with these people for long amounts of time, where they come on site and do those types of services, and they just contract through some company with HP, Lenovo, IBM. I think Philips had their own people. I remember Philips, they actually serviced their own servers. Excuse me, even though those servers may have been owned, or even though those servers may have been like a Dell server or something, Philips would come out and still service their servers. But anyway, yeah, there's positions out there. There's just few and far between. Brian B. Hey, Zach, love the videos, man. Need your very honest opinion. How much can 1 year do for a person's IT career? 1 year of experience is 1 year of experience, and that's valuable. Like, it's like experience is definitely measured within years. So 1 year, like one solid year, is still good. Like, is it going to take you very far? Like, are you going to be able to advance, like, very quickly after 1 year? That really heavily falls on you and how much experience you were able to achieve in that 1 year, and meaning like how many things you were actually able to achieve in that year, how many things were you able to learn. But on top of that, it's like, how many certifications do you have, or do you have a degree? 1 year of experience, while definitely very helpful, it's not big news. Really, it's not until you get, I think, 3, 4, 5 years of experience that experience that you're building, that you've built for the last 5 years, really plays a huge impact and really pivoting in your IT career. the 2 to 4 year mark, you could definitely advance. You could definitely move on from a help desk to a help desk 2, maybe to like a junior sysadmin or a junior network admin or something like that. But it's really, that after that 4 or 5 year mark where you really start pivoting, where you really have this verifiable experience that can help boost your career. So there's that for you. I forgot to check. I'm terrible at this. I forgot to check this LinkedIn Live thing. I always forget to do that. There's people in the LinkedIn chat that I missed. I'm sorry, LinkedIn chat. I'm new to doing the LinkedIn live streaming. Not bad. How to get a career in data mining. I'm actually doing a video that's not necessarily focusing on that specifically, but it'll give you a good idea on what you can do to go that way. So I'm not going to talk about that in this chat, just purely based on the fact that I'm literally in the middle of making that, but not literally in the middle of making that. I'm preparing the content for it like today. So we're not going to go there right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Chiman Jung. I don't know if I butchered your name. I apologize if I did. Should you go into cybersecurity or web development or app development? I love these questions because it's up to you, man. Like, I can't tell you which way to take. Like, I could sit here and tell you one of those paths could pay the most amount of money, but that path could also be your least favorite. And why would you go down that path just because it makes the most money? It doesn't make sense to me, because in reality, they all pay really good money, right? I'm just using this as an example, right? Like, they all pay good money, but one you're going to find really enjoyable, and you might make $20,000 or less, or $20,000 a year more or less or something, right? But at the end of the day, like, with those positions, you're probably making $100,000 a year anyway, like, right? Anyway, yeah, it's up to you, bro. Dr. Onetiv? I don't know what it's supposed to be. Dr. One TV? Is that what it is? Anyway, thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. You're taking your 1001 tomorrow, if it's online. Let's see how I do this time. Good luck, man. That's awesome. That is super awesome. I'm really excited to hear about people's experience. There's hair on my microphone thing here. It's driving me nuts. Really excited to hear about people's experience with the online testing. It's definitely, it's going to be really exciting to get the feedback, for sure. No Degree IT says, if you follow a career path for money, you will never be happy. And I could not agree with you more. It's so true. Drone TV. My bad. The letters throw me off. Sorry. Robert George, you love networking, but you were wondering if you can find something that integrates that with the cloud. Yeah, dude, you got to go look into the Cisco stuff. Meow-a-days. Yeah, there's CCNP something another, I think. God, I can't think of which one is it? I don't know. I would go look into the Cisco certs, because they're going to walk you right into that path. Everything's going to the cloud. Networking in the cloud. You can hear all about that. Brian B., when setting up home labs, should you go for what's most convenient for home use or go for enterprise, maybe free version, software, and methods? Quite honestly, like, you could go with what's most convenient. I think the most important part of all of it is making sure you document it. So whether you go with some type of open source, option. So say you go with VirtualBox instead of like VMware, right? You can do that. That's fine. But make sure you document that whole process and document what you're doing. At the end of the day, that's kind of what's most important, because when you're comparing VirtualBox to VMware, for instance, right? Like, the theory and stuff is still the same. Like, you're still achieving the same thing at the end. And at that point, it's like you already know how to do many of the things, like you know how to install a server, and you know how to configure DHCP, and you know how to configure Active Directory, group policy, whatever, right? Like that's the most important part of it. How you get there can be achieved many ways, right? But documenting how you got there is great. But at the end of the day, then, sorry, I might have said that 2 times now, but anyway, you can quickly adapt to learning VMware. It's not that much more difficult, right? It's just a completely different GUI, but you can do it. Like, it's not that bad. So, yeah, go for whatever works for you. Mike, why aren't your messages showing here? I'm seeing your messages. Maybe not all of them, because I keep answering a question and then the chat just goes like crazy and then I can't keep up. So, I'm sorry. My bad. Michael Anderson. Hey, Zach, how have you been? I've been all right. You want to know, are employers still hiring network engineers? So right now, there are many companies who are just furloughing people, firing people, laying people off, whatever. At the same time, there's still quite a few companies out there that are hiring for these different positions. So, I mean, yeah, you could possibly still get a job as a network engineer right now. There are jobs out there, but the good and bad about this is so many great and talented people have just been fired and let go. So when these types of jobs become available, you have a much bigger talent pool now of experienced people who are doing this, right? I don't know. Yeah, I can't keep up with the chat, y'all. I'm sorry. It's kind of difficult. So, Robert Evans, what was your question? I'll go through. I don't want you to be offended that I missed you. It's just really hard. Let's see. Let's see. No, that's a different person. That's Robert Evans. Let's see. I can co-sign on the experience part. Just land your dream IT job. Sysadmin, sysanalyst in the government. It took 7 years to get here, but you finally got here. You got your third one coming in August. I don't see a question that you asked. I'm sorry. My bad. Can you raise your hand here? I mean, I don't know how you could raise your hand. I guess you'd have to put like a few emojis in the chat to get my attention. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Robert. I want to make sure that I get everybody's questions. It's just so difficult because by the time I read a question and then I start answering it, like the chat has already gone like way past that question. So it's like I got to keep the chat either current so I can know what's currently happening and keep on top of things, or I leave the chat like, way up here, which you guys can see on the screen, and then I don't know what's happening below. So it's like this double-edged sword. And then I see this person keep asking the same question over and over again. And it's like, I'm sorry, bro. When will I be releasing the data mining video? I don't know right now. Here's the thing about right now. I got 3 or 4 kids home with me every single day. All day. I'm in charge. Lots of fun, let me tell you. So my wife, she's not my wife, but she's my significant other. I call her my wife. She's pretty much my wife. She is a physician assistant, so she works for a hospital. And if you're currently aware of what's going on, some of the healthcare jobs are very important right now. So, it's just me here in charge all day, every day, and oh my gosh, kids are rough. But anyway, right now they're napping. The 2-year-old is supposed to be napping. I don't think he's napping. When I left, he was awake, and I have a 12-year-old home with me. And I was like, dude, please help me put him to bed. And then I just walked out. I was like, whatever, I got to do this live stream. I just scheduled it. Here I am. We're still surviving. Dex B, pick you. All right, I'm picking you, bro. Or girl. What's up? ask your question. And then the other thing, right? Like I ask people questions back, and then I always forget that there's this huge delay in the chat. Oh man, Eric Ramirez, what happened to the course I made? The course I made's still up. What do you mean? Is it not up? Did I forget to do something? I'd laugh if I forgot to renew the domain or something. I would just seriously laugh. Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? How the heck did that happen? No, it works. You just gotta put the www in there. www.itcq.tv takes you right there. Douglas Connell, you guys are doing great. It would freak out with this chat speed too. Basic question: 16 gigabyte enough for VirtualBox gaming and resume experience video editing? Yeah, 16 gigs is fine. I mean, it's kind of low nowadays. Like that's sad that 16 gigs to me like sounds like no RAM at all. But it's really more than enough for what you want to do. I wouldn't say more than enough, honestly. It's enough for what you want to do. It's not more than enough, but it's enough. You feel like I'm stepping into two different areas? What two areas am I stepping into? What am I doing? I'm right, and I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm so confused by this chat. Sorry. Robert, you got two at home. You feel me completely. Yeah. It's good time. Dex B. All right, let me look up your question here. Dex B. How competent at Linux do you need to be before realistically becoming a junior sysadmin role? You currently have the Linux essentials and halfway done with the LPIC 1. So that's pretty good. Like that in itself, I would say, is going to be very helpful for you. Yeah, I'm just looking over because you think you had a couple different chats on here, so I just want to make sure I'm answering the right one. Okay. So yeah, definitely getting the LPIC 1 is going to be helpful for you, but you could also go for like the Red Hat certification. I think the Red Hat certification would really help you achieve what you want to do. So I might even look into that, honestly. Quite honestly. All right, I got your question. Oh my goodness. You don't see web develop being an option. You're mainly focused on HTML, CSS, Java. What are you talking about with you don't see what you I'm mainly focused on HTML, CSS, Java. What? Dan King, I'm confused, bro. Are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else? It's chat, bro. It's chat, guys. Soupy Gnome, you're saying 16 gigs for VirtualBox is terrible? Your lab has 16 gigs and you can't run what you want. Well, how many gigs are you setting aside for each virtual machine? I typically will only set like 2 gigs per virtual machine. And then, I mean, they're pretty good for whatever I needed to do. Like if you have 16 gigs, like you could comfortably, I would say, utilize half of those gigs, half of those gigabytes to run virtual machines. You should be okay. It's going to be slow. Like it's not going to be quick, but it's going to be doable. Philip Richardson, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Hello from Dublin. On Service Desk 4 years, you have a degree in computer science, certs in Azure plus AWS, and studying for your Security Plus. Need to move on to bigger role. Any suggestions? I mean, dude, you quite honestly, with 4 years of experience, a degree, and certs in Azure and AWS, like if you want to be in the cloud, you have more than enough experience and more than enough credentials to be working any type of cloud position you would really want to work, like that you would want to step into. Might be like an entry level type of cloud support position or something, but do it. Like get your foot in that door if that's where you want to go. So my suggestions to you, start applying for bigger and better things. That's what you want to do. Start applying for them because you have the experience and you have those credentials. Go rock it out. Mike wants to give everybody a tip. Here's a tip for everyone looking for a job. Personality is a huge factor in IT. You can't be trained on that. I just secured a role for $27 an hour with only a year and a half of experience. Just strive. And that's a fantastic tip. personality, customer service, experience, those are big, big things. And then there's people in the chat. I keep... I'm glad that people from LinkedIn are coming over to YouTube since I'm failing miserably at the live chat on LinkedIn. My bad. Angela, your question got broken into two sides. Where's the first one? Can older cryptology IT data analysts experience still be applicable today and considered by companies when they look at experience? I mean, I would suggest that you at least try to stay up to date on like current technologies in that area and current cryptography knowledge as well. And then, yeah, like your past experience should be very helpful for you, but I think you definitely need to at least get a little bit updated on what's currently happening. The paracord guy, what's up? What's going on? Z Sammy, hello, you're studying cloud computing, but you don't know which cloud you choose, AWS, Google, Azure. Can't talk today, I'm sorry. Well, the best suggestion that I could give to you is look around your area. So pull up Indeed.com, Monster.com, all those different job searching sites, LinkedIn even, and search for AWS, search for Google Cloud Platform, search for Azure. See what comes up the most, because that at least could help you in your area. Like maybe your area just uses a lot of Google Cloud Platform. Well, that's probably a safe bet that you could go for the GCP, one of the GCP certifications. But most of the time, like AWS just dominates the market, so AWS is almost always a safe bet. Almost always. You have to do your research. That's kind of important. Sorry, I had to check my phone. Lunch break, homie. 4 weeks from trying your Security Plus proctored exam. Good luck, brother. Good luck, man. Somebody was just asking me the other day for advice on the Security Plus. And, like, seriously, the best advice that I can give you is just go over practice exams. There's so many options out there for practice exams. Utilize every single one of them, like, as often as you can. Some of them ask the questions just as ridiculous as CompTIA does. So that is helpful, because the way that they like to ask their questions is, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying. If you ever taken a CompTIA exam, you know exactly what I'm talking about with their questions. Exactly. So yeah, many practice exams. Utilize multiple resources. Somebody said, I agree, listen to Professor Messer, and they listen to him while they're driving or something. Yeah, I would listen to Professor Messer everywhere I went. Anytime I got in the car, I'd throw on Professor Messer audio, because it was helpful. Anytime I took a shower, like I had Professor Messer playing in the background. That's probably kind of weird. Too much information. But it's helpful, man. Like, any chance I had where I could just listen to something almost mindlessly for a few minutes, like, it was Professor Messer. Because it was just like this knowledge, like, just getting spoon-fed into my brain constantly. I thought that was helpful. That's what I did, after the first time I took it and I failed. That's what I started to do. After failing, like, it was just constantly, like, feeding my brain any chance that I could get. Tessa McBee, hey, just found this channel. Is hacking into someone's cell phone legal? No, it's very illegal. Like, extremely illegal. Like, don't do that. Like, please don't do that. So, I'm sorry to say, you can't come into this chat and ask me if we can hack your boyfriend's cell phone, because we're not going to hack your boyfriend's cell phone. Or your girlfriend's cell phone, for that matter. Nobody hacks that type of stuff here, I hope. Like, maliciously, you know what I'm saying. Is there anything like Code Academy for IT? You guys have any good resources? Like Simply Learn, maybe? Simply Learn's probably a good one. That might probably be. That's the only one I could think of right now. Is Simply Learn. Soupy Gnome. So you did ask this at the beginning, but anyone know how legitimate EC Council certs are? If you ask a majority of like security professionals, nobody likes the CEH. Like everybody just like yells like nobody likes the CEH. It's like they're like, well, why would I take the CEH when I could take the OSCP? Is so much better, right? Like that's what you're gonna hear. So there's your answer. Tessa, well, I mean, like, what about the programs that are available for your kids' phones? I mean, there's a couple different, I guess, things out there. Like, I just bought, like, the Circle thing the other day because I wanted to try it out. It's, like, one of those things where I'm just like, oh, I want to try this. So basically, like, it'll tell me, like, all the websites my kids go to, lets me, like, filter everything and set different times, turn things off. Blah, 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 blah. That might be something that you're probably looking for. We hack for the good of mankind and money, but in a good kind of way, or in a good guy kind of way. I like that. Yeah. We do hack for the good of mankind and money. But every hacker hacks for money. Like, come on. Right? I mean, I guess there's some that don't do that necessarily. Tillich, I don't know if that's how you say your name, but you said, how can I study for the Security Plus in the cheapest way possible? You're a graduate in computer engineering looking for a good career in cybersecurity. Professor Messer. Boom. Next. See you later, Paracord guy. Clearance. What certification should you go for first? Linux Plus, Security Plus, or CCNA? Oh, I wouldn't honestly really suggest any of. I don't know what you want to do. What do you want to do in your career? Like that's the most important question. Mike also says, don't be stupid and use dumps. Apparently, somebody from my college was caught and not only had their certs blacklisted, but was fined over $5,000. Study yourself. Yeah, don't use brain dumps. They're dumb. Tessa, you have Life 360, but that's only for like location, not for monitoring what they're texting and what they're looking up and stuff. Yeah, you could look up the Circle. I think Disney makes it or something. Look up the Circle thing. That'll at least help somewhat, but otherwise, like, you're gonna have to download. Gosh, I can't think of what the name of it is. I'm sure there's some app out there that you can download and put on your kids' phones. But if you're going through all that, like, never mind. Just keep my mouth shut. Sam Lab says, agreed, Professor Messer is great. I put all of my service desk team through it as part of their career ladder. That's awesome. Professor Messer is an invaluable resource, for sure. Daniel, you love my channel. I thank you. I appreciate that. What's the best cert to land remote work? There is not one specifically. Security Plus. Maybe that's the best. I don't know. There's not anything specifically built for that. CCNA. That would be helpful. What are dumps? CD asks, what are dumps? I don't even want to talk about that. Like, I really don't. Like, it's such a crappy thing. Like, it's not even worth like talking about to me because it's just so stupid. Tessa, okay, thanks. Sorry if I'm asking something that doesn't belong in the specific live. No, you're all good. I mean, I want to help. Do I have preteens? I do. I got one of them. She's a she, or whatever, She identifies as a girl. I mean, like, literally. Like, whatever. I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean. But yeah. Girl and difficult. Girls are so difficult. No offense to girls out there, but they are definitely difficult. But yes, I have a preteen, and I have to monitor everything that she does. And I turn off the internet all the time. I constantly have to log into my router and blacklist her MAC addresses of her devices. Constantly. Is a master's worth the money? A master's is worth the money if you plan on doing any type of management or above role. So if you want to be a VP, if you want to be a CIO, CEO, no, whatever. If that's what you want to do, then yeah, master's is going to be very helpful in achieving those types of goals, because for whatever reason, a lot of companies out there still value certifications when it comes to managing or directing departments. Yeah, dumps are cheating for sure. Dumps are just what they sound like for sure. Your first level service desk all get ITIL Foundations, A+, and Net+. Those are a great place to start. I think ITIL is fantastic. I need to do a video on ITIL. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. We should do that soon. Mental note. Editor. ITIL video next. I don't have an editor. I'm the editor. That's my reminder. I was trying to read something. Anyway, I think we're good on this live stream, because I got to get back to my children's, and they're crazy right now. I heard one of them screaming. So this person said, "I love interviewing people who have used dumps. I will embarrass you if you have." Career path to CIO. I don't think there's any set career path to become a CIO. It's just making those money moves. Like, advance yourself as much as you possibly can, as often as you can. Get the degrees and certifications that can help you along the way. Honestly, like getting like project management certifications, getting like a CISSP if that's kind of the path you want to take. Getting those types of things. I think there's many different things out there that can help you advance in that way. Going to different trainings and stuff for managing people and all that fun crap. But anyway, thank you guys for joining the live stream. I really do appreciate you guys coming in, chatting, just hanging out, right? Just trying to keep everybody busy in this crazy, hectic time. Anyway, hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic day. Stay 13 feet away from everybody or each other, because that's really important. It's like 13 feet now, I think. That's the recommended distance, isn't it? But yeah, take it easy. Stay healthy. Thank you, guys.